YouTube. All right, look, since this 2020 year and all these different lockdowns, etc., I've seen an influx of new trainers into the gym that I work at and seeing the struggles that they're having. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 3 biggest tips that come to mind of my experience as working as a personal trainer in my own business over the last 4 years. But I do work out of a gym, and I want to tell you my experience with the 3 things that I think every personal trainer should know, especially if you're kind of studying now and looking to get into the scene. What I wish I would have known day 1 of training, of getting into the scene, into the fitness industry. But luckily enough, I've followed most of these steps, but it could have turned out worse. And I've seen a lot of trainers, and I know of some personally that didn't go through these steps. They went bust, they couldn't pay the bills, and they no longer work as a trainer because, and after doing all that studying, etc. So let's jump into the first one. It's all about small talk. Now, what do I mean when I say that? So think of a doctor, physio, anything that's a people business. Think of a retail owner, someone that owns a party store where you hire things, people that sell like retail, sell gaming chairs. It's all about people coming and interacting with each other for a service or a product. So it's all about the small talk. And that's exactly what people are going to be looking for when they're looking for a trainer, even if they don't know that themselves. And more importantly, that is what employers are looking for. That is what people, I shouldn't say employers, because one of the other steps will be you do not want to be employed. You want to work as contractors, etc. But that's step 3. We'll get to that. Make sure you hang around to hear that bit because that's crucially important to how you go about working as a trainer. The first section that we're talking about is all about the small talk and why you need to understand that it's the most crucial element. So people are coming to you as a service. Some people will just want to be blasted. You get that every now and then. Normally it's like CEOs that own their own business. They work 12-hour days. They come in, they want to get the job done. Their whole lifestyle is just go, go, go. That's a certain type of personality, and you get that rarely. They're normally the ones driving the European SUVs and have the watches and everything on. You'll get them eventually. Those guys will tell you that they want to be blasted. So if you weren't good at small talk in the first place, it would be hard to find that out. So even the ones that don't really want to sit and chit chat all the time, they will tell you that if you are good at small talk and can discover that about them. Another type of client that can come to you are ones that just work 9 to 5. They don't really like what they do, and they just like to socialize. So they feel good about themselves because they come to the gym, they get their workout in, but in between sets, they just want to chat. They honestly just want to chat. And they'll never say it though, but if you're good at small talk, you tick the box for every single person that will come and see you. Plus, you're good at selling your services when it comes to the point of offering it and why they need it and things like that. We can break down in another video my best strategies of selling, because it's something that I did develop a lot. And I don't like to use the word. It sounds weird when it's felt like that, but it's just displaying what you can offer. When it gets down to at the end of a session where you take someone through a complimentary or whatever it may be, you kind of give them a good workout and they're all happy and excited about it. It's how, one, to kind of make sure that they finish on that good note and feel excited and things like that. You don't want it to be a terrible session for them and not fun. And then it's about how you kind of show your stuff at the end. Okay, so it's not selling. We'll avoid saying that word. That's a different topic, all right? We'll get to that in a different video. Small talk. Pretty much, we could ramble on about it, but as long as you're good at it and understand that people are looking for that, especially the gyms when they're hiring people, they're not looking for who's the most skilled. They're not looking for who's the most jacked. Generally, they have a big ego and they've already got their eye on those people. If you're good at chatting to people, they will notice. And when you're working in a people services business, in any kind, that is what is the key. Okay, so keep that in mind. Hopefully it doesn't stress you guys out if you're not particularly confident and love talking to people all the time. I'm not either. But just when I'm put in the situation, when I have a coffee and I jump behind a camera like this, I can become that. So you just need that ability, okay? And that is step 1. So just before I move on to number 2, don't be concerned, like I said, if that's not the personality type you are. As long as you understand that is what it takes to do good in the business at the core value, to be good at small talk and And what do I mean exactly by that quickly? Asking someone how their day is, caring about them, not just robot going through a session. Okay, so it's human nature to chat. Small talk is the key. Number 2, you need to systemize your approach. Now, I'm initially referring to that bit where you're getting in new clients. When you have a new lead come in, you take them through a session, you make sure you say these kind of things, you listen to what they do, then you show them your paperwork at the end and what you can offer and how much it is. Okay, so you should get that all under control and have the paperwork, etc., ready to go. We can break that down in another video, like I was saying. But I'm talking about the systemized approach of what you do. So every client is different, but your sessions shouldn't be super crazy, especially for new starts. All right, you're not going to be out running across the road and doing all this weird stuff. It's always going to be in the gym, and you'll develop this system anyway. So we just need to put it on paper first of all, if you're fresh, because you're nervous. You don't really want to waste these leads that if they would have come to you in a year's time, you would have got that business. So when it comes to new people coming in, I always do the same thing. I have my health check booklet. We sit down. I'll say, hello, how's your day? Chat. The first thing you do, and you can write this down as a cheat sheet if you like. We will put a card up in the corner to go to my complete cheat sheet video. I'm not trying to really send you guys out and watch all my content and stuff. I just would rather go through it really in detail in one big video, and we just summarize the points in this one about my 4 years experience and what I think you should focus on. And hopefully you guys have done all these 3 points or close enough to them. But systemize your approach, okay? So you come in, health check, first of all. Go through the health check. Ask them heaps of questions. Break down certain points that you always want to find out you think are the most important based on this health check booklet, whether you make it yourself or the gym gets it to you, okay? Once you found out that information, say, all right, you're ready to go upstairs. This is what I do anyway. We go to the same area no matter who it is. And this is good because it doesn't matter if they're beginner, you start in the beginner section, it's a quiet zone, or if they're advanced. Now, if they're advanced, you go up, and with everyone, first of all, I'm going to look at your 7 different movement patterns, okay? So the 7 ways that the body moves, and the advanced movements all stem back to that core. For instance, squat, push-up, plank, right? Those are the 3 of the 7. You want to make sure they're on point. So no matter if they're pro or not, you want to get them to do that, check it off. You're going to see red flags straight away if they bend their back, etc. 2, you will find something to correct on these people that are experienced. Big bodybuilder comes in, whatever, point out something, even if it's only a little bit wrong. They will not do, I've never had anyone do everything spot on. Holding a plank 100%, elbows underneath the shoulder, whatever it is that you know about these certain movement patterns, find something to do or correct. And it's going to happen naturally. And straight away, they have a lot of respect for you because no matter how experienced they are, you knew something more than they did in that regards, okay? So already setting yourself onto this path of confidently displaying that you know what you're talking about, okay? And that's going to happen as well, stemmed in with small talk, because they'll ask you questions about different things, not to interrogate you and make sure you know your stuff, but they'll genuinely ask questions. If you're good at chatting, then you'll be able to help them, okay? So having an approach like that, okay? We will break down completely in another video, the detailed version of that, but just systemize it. Whatever you do, make sure you have an idea. And if you're fresh to the game, write down in dot points, and every time someone comes in, it's now a game. You're practicing your criteria, your step-to-step to-do list, so to say, okay? So step 2. Systemize your approach to everything, not just when they first come in. Number 3, I super highly recommend you go to a big box gym. Now, what is a big box gym? That is pretty much the name, what we say here in Australia anyway, of the massive corporations. Okay, now, first thing comes to mind is, why would you want to work for a massive corporation? Don't they normally stuff their people over, their employees, etc.? Well, it's got to have a few different criteria. So you don't want to go to a small little studio or something unless you're trying to get experience. Now, a bit of backstory on what I did. I studied a diploma of fitness. Funnily enough, the person taking it owned their own private small studio with their own name, the only one in the state in the world, right? And they just did their own little thing. It wasn't a big Anytime Fitness. It wasn't a Gold's Gym. It wasn't anything like that, wherever you might be and know the big names of the gyms. Small private studio, 40 or 50 members that they do group fitness and one-on-ones with. That's it. They were actually looking to scout for 2 male PTs. Now, I did something to impress him as well as one of my friends in the class, and we got offered a job. So straight away, as soon as that course ended, 2 days later, we're working at a gym. Now, this is great for a bit of experience. But here's the thing. You're set, like the work that comes in, you are given a set amount, and you're relying on that business, okay? So now if a gym's a big box gym, they'll have 4,000 members. They have 100 members coming in every single month. So if you're a small one, it's good for experience. It's good for that learning conditions. And this is where I would recommend joining a smaller gym. But then there's always like a catch to it, okay? For example, they'll bring in leads, but they need to make a cut as well. They got bills to pay. They got to pay the lights, the light bill and everything for the small studio. And they're normally just a family-owned little business. So the way that my initial one worked, and I still do work there, I only do like a very small amount now. But they come in and you do a session and you split the rate 50-50. So you get this much for doing the work. It's almost like you're employed, but you're contracted. And even if you brought in people yourself and you recruited it, you did all the work, because you're using the equipment and you're working out of there, you're still losing 50% of your income every single time. So after a year of experience there, I then went and had a connection into, actually from this small gym, a connection into working for a big box gym. There's a bit more exposure and there's just more volume, more members, more opportunity, and you get the deal. So I come in with a bit of experience. I go to the big box gym and pretty much you pay a weekly rent. It starts ramping up. And it's your job, you're thrown in the deep end to go and get your clients. Now, they do have a few different protocols to help you out a little bit. You know you have leads coming, they give you numbers, you just book them in, and you learn how to offer your services in the best way possible. And then you build up your client base, and here's the thing. You might be paying, what feels like a big amount of rent. It's steep, it can be $200-300 per week. Mine's $320 Australian dollars every single week. It's well over more than what you pay for your house rent. But that's a different story. But your income's not capped. And that's where personal training and owning your own business shines. You don't want to go through and learn this certificate in fitness, etc., to be employed and have a cap at what you want to earn. I don't think that's how you should go about personal training at all. So if you're getting an hourly rate, no matter what you do, I don't think it's the gym you should be at. And that's why I recommend these big box gyms with this weekly rent, so they know what they're getting. And then you can offer your services to members and build your own business within their business. And then you have the security of you've got the $1 million worth of equipment. You have access to all these members and this opportunity to get new business. And it's just this really well done kind of situation where you both win. The gym definitely wins because they've got memberships from the members and you're paying an ultra membership. And then you have to convert their members to try and be members of your thing. So in a way, it's an expensive loophole, but the opportunity is so much more. And watch out for the catch, because there's other gyms that their rent's a lot less, 50% less, for example. I know Anytime Fitness, their rent is around the $200 mark from what I've seen on their contract. And that was a few years ago. And I considered it. I considered if I didn't want to go to the big one I'm currently working at and join a big Anytime chain instead. Luckily, someone that I knew in the industry kind of said, no, like definitely not. Why do you think it's cheaper? Kind of scratched my head for a little bit. I'm like, well, if a business can charge you more and they know what they offer is worth more, they will definitely crank the price up. And that's why my current one really does try and push it up, And the other big indicator, and this is probably the biggest takeaway from the video, to know whether or not a gym is somewhat good to work with. It's not the only thing you should go off, but definitely you want to make sure that you're a contractor, okay? Big one. Write this down if you need to. You're a contractor, you're not employed. You're not paid an hourly rate. because you just get absolutely schooled. They get whatever they charge per hour. Let's say it's $100 per hour and you get $20 of it. It's not worth it. The energy you input into this work is too much to not be getting huge return for your efforts. It's a job where you get $100 or more an hour. Okay, and we need to remember that. So you offer a business. Okay, so contractor, you're running your business, you're paying weekly rent. Done. 2, how many trainers do they have? Currently, just so you guys have a good idea, we have about 4,000 members at the gym. Not ultra mega. If you're in the United States, your gyms will be way bigger than Australian ones. But we have 20 trainers at the gym. So the more trainers at the gym is not a bad thing. Naturally, humans will think more trainers, way more people trying to steal from you. Right? But it's actually... it can be that if it gets too extreme and they force too many people in there because there's only a certain amount of leads, right? But that aside, as long as everyone's getting enough leads and there's normally birthday lists you can call, new sign-ups, then they'll sell their own, the gym will sell their own jumpstart or kickstart kind of thing where they take the money, but you get 3 sessions to take the people through, just as an example. And that's good because they already are showing that they're indicating that they're interested in personal training as a thing. So that's why these little multi-pack things, even though you don't get a cent and it's more work in the long run, that's why they can be a good opportunity. But definitely look for those 2 things, contractor, and if there's heaps of people in the gym, because if there's heaps of trainers, then the members see it all the time. They see that training's normal. They see the people working with the trainers endlessly, no matter what time of the day it seems to be. And it leaves us good impression because people are sheep, and if no one does personal training at the gym, you're the only trainer, then the people that go and work with them almost have this, they're a bit alienated. They're different from the rest of the group or the people there. And people hate to be different. They'll always try and fit in. So if they see that there's trainers here working with 3 people at a time, over there doing one-on-one, up the next room doing one-on-one, 2-on-1s, and it's a normal thing, then they're much more likely to say down the line when they're getting a bit slack and they haven't been in for a week and they come in and they're walking on a flat treadmill, they haven't made progress for 2 years because all they do is walk on a treadmill every Wednesday for 25 minutes, then finally they'll convince themselves and be like, you know what, I'm going to go and ask him after tonight about doing the session. So hopefully you guys found some beneficial info from this video. I've seen a big influx, like I said at the start of the video, of new trainers coming into the industry after all this lockdown and weird year. And it's a rough gig if you don't have the right trajectory. You don't know exactly where you're headed. So plenty more videos coming in the channel. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see any other things that I've learned about working in the industry for 4 years and running a completely successful business. And yeah, it's a really cool gig once we get it happening. So leave a like if it helped you out at all. Check the description for videos, more detail on the things that we broke down. We got a specific video just for the sections that you might be interested in. And I will see you guys next time.